is a long and fast green engine, but he needs special coal. At first, it was working in wonders. He could pull trains better than any other engine. But one day, Henry felt strange. But now, the special coal that Henry had wasn't helping at all. Oh, he said. Sir Topham, he didn't want to tell Sir Topham Hatt because he didn't want him to send him away. So Henry decided to play along. Sir Topham Hatt told Henry he had to pull the express. Thomas puffed up on a siding. You might want to be careful, Henry. The coaches are at the airport, Henry, said Thomas, and he puffed away. Soon Henry was backing up to his train. And then Henry buckled up to his train, but he had a very hard time getting the train to move. The passengers would cross. Topham Hatt didn't have time for Henry to be dawdling around, so he sent for Toby, pushed from behind to get Henry started. Finally, Henry was able to pull his train. He was very worried. Henry had to puff to the station to pick up more passengers. He steamed into Great Waterton. Stephanie was pulling the express. Bash and Stephanie were already at the station. Stephanie had been waiting for Henry. Finally, Henry arrived, but he missed the platform because his brakes weren't working. He had to be backed up. You're late, said Stephanie. I don't have time to wait for you. I have passengers to bring all around the narrow gauge railway. And Stephanie puffed snootily away. Are you okay, Henry? Said Dash. I'm fine, said Henry. But yet again, Henry had trouble pulling his train, but he didn't want to ask Dash for help. So he just pulled his train away. You can comment later. And there goes Slowpoke, laughed George. Henry was upset. He steamed through the harbor, and he was steaming through the other line in the harbor. Cranky the Crane laughed at him. There's Henry, said Cranky. There he goes, struggling to even pull a couple coaches. Henry didn't want to admit that Cranky was right, but he knew he was. Henry was puffing towards Gordon's Hill. He steamed through a tunnel, then started up Gordon's Hill. He had a very difficult time as he crossed the bridge. The coal wasn't working. Henry was about to go up another hill, but he slowed down. He felt very funny. He went high up in the hill, but then he stopped. The coaches pulled him downward. Oh no, said Henry. He had broken down. His driver and fireman were confused. The special coal had been working nicely up to this point, said the fireman. Henry was stuck. They sent Edward to go push Henry up the hill and then take the passengers home. He buffered up and then he pushed Henry up the hill. Henry was switched onto the siding, and Edward brought the coaches back down the hill. Pulled the coaches away. Oh dear, huffed Henry. When Sir Topham Hatt heard, he spoke to Henry. It's not your fault. The spectral code just isn't working. You'll have a new shape now. One that's different from Gordon's, but you will at least be able to pull coaches a lot smoothly now. A lot more smoothly now. Without all your special coal. Sir Topham Hatt was right. Henry was back the next day from Crewe. He felt very nice. He wheezed into... He hustled and bustled into the station. Stephanie finally arrived. You're late, huffed Henry. Sorry, we got held back on the coaches were really heavy. I don't have time to wait for silly tank and narrow gauge engines like you. And he wheezed him loudly. Stephanie felt very... And Henry raced away. Stephanie felt very silly. He pulled his train away crossly. Dash was happy. Henry was happy himself.